ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of UFO Snap. I'm Jay.
I'm Lindsay.
And today we got a good one. Yeah,
this is breaking news.
This is breaking. Normally we record these like in batches, in which we still are, but this one comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is topical.
Things are happening.
So I'm gonna introduce you to a guy who has a story and who's told a pretty fucking crazy story.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start with our story begins with this guy named David Charles Grush. Now, who was he? He was a man who has served his country in more ways than one. Born into a blue-collar family in Pittsburgh, Grush didn't have the means for college, but he did have a dream. Mm-hmm. A dream to be part of something bigger than himself, right? So that dream led to him to the Air Force.
Okay.
Because he couldn't do college, right? So he went to the Air Force. He served 14 years in the Air Force. But it didn't stop there. So after the 14 years, right, he went on to serve in the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, or the NGA, and then also the National Reconnaissance Office, or the NRO.
Big stuff.
Yep. And then he became a part of, interesting enough, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force from 2019 to 2021.
We've talked about that organization.
Mm-hmm. He was the NGA's co-lead for UAP analysis and its representatives to the task force from late 2021 to July 2022. His credentials are vouched for by several associates, including Carl E. Nell, a recently retired Army colonel, and current aerospace executives who worked with Grush on the UAP task force, among other people. All right, so this guy has been vetted inside and out. He is who he says he is.
He is the dude.
He is the dude, right? He is the dude. He has a ton of like commendations, medals, awards.
Because you had me watch the interview just so I just at least have a baseline of what we were going into, because there's a lot.
Yep.
There's a lot. No, I saw him in his dress uniform. He looked very important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's done a lot, you know, and while he was an intelligence officer, because that's what he wound up becoming, apparently his security clearance was as high as it can go. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he had top level, above top, whatever the top is, he was in it.
Above Majestic 12.
Well,
maybe
let's not get crazy. But in that world, he could walk into any room without having to ask if I can come in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He can. This is the guy that could walk into.
He's got that card that goes through the thing and it goes green every time.
Every time.
You
know what I mean? He's the guy that he's the guy that if he walks up to you and says, "What are you talking about?" You're not allowed to say you don't need to know, because whatever he wants to know, he can know. Everything he wants to know. He's cleared to know whatever he wants to know, right? And that is how he sort of got upon to this story.
Okay.
Because he's able to look at things.
Mm-hmm. He has access.
He has access to everything. This guy could literally drive into Area 51 and walk through there unescorted, and no one could stop him. He has authorization.
It's the Grush.
It's the Grush. Oh, man. So, okay. So that's where we come to our story today. The Grush. So what happened was, Grush came forward and did official whistleblower procedure. Well, actually, what he did was he went to the Attorney General because we'll just continue on the story.
Okay.
And we'll see where we're at, right? So we're talking about Grush. Grush is a whistleblower, okay? So his journey took a turn when he stumbled upon something extraordinary, okay? He claims that for decades, I'd like to reflect on everything we just said about this guy's impeccable record commendations out the ass, vouched for by many people. He claims, mind you, he did the whistleblower form, right?
Yeah.
So he had to sign the form that says, if you're fucking lying, you're going to prison.
Yeah.
Like, if we can prove that you're making shit up, you're going away.
Yeah, he didn't just like leak it to the press or leak it online.
Nope.
He went through the official whistleblower procedure.
He went to the attorney or to the inspector general, presented his evidence. The inspector general felt that his evidence was so compelling that he needed to go through these channels and directed him to go through these channels. Went through the channels. He has already presented all this evidence, by the way, to Congress. They've already have it. They also have, and we're going to get into that. So just remember that. Remember that as I finish this. He claims for decades, the government, its allies, and defense contractors have been recovering partial fragments and even intact vehicles of non-human origin. These objects, he says, are of exotic origin. Their unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures are unlike anything on Earth. But these discoveries, he alleges, have been kept hidden, illegally withheld from Congress. Now, Gretsch didn't stand for this. This is what he thought was bullshit. Because while he was working for the UAP task force, because you got to remember, the UAP task force was designed to look for UAPs out there.
Yes.
Well, while he was in the process of doing his job, he discovered we already had him here. They already had him. This is what happened, guys. So this guy who had the fucking clearance, but he wasn't they were on the mission to look to the sky, to fucking track down what's going on out there. Holy shit. There's a whole other section that, guys, we already have them. They're fucking here. Okay. So he alleges that these have been hidden from Congress. Congress didn't even know about this, right?
Yeah.
Didn't stand for it. So he filed a complaint alleging not only that the illegal withholdings of the information, but also he started to receive retaliation for his confidential disclosures. Shit started happening to him.
Yeah.
Like he said that he was getting harassing things. People were flying drones over his house.
Oh my God.
Like all kinds of shit started happening to him. He getting phone calls, and
he had tripped someone's radar.
Yeah. Oh, big time. And that's probably why he came forward into the press for protection.
Yeah. Because there are protections for whistleblowers that go through the appropriate channels.
Yep. And so, and kind of interesting that everything he's saying was officially cleared by the Department of Defense. They said that he could say all of this. And that's one thing that people are like, wait a minute. They said he could say this? Why would they say that he could say this? Like, it must not, because if it's classified, why would they say he could say this?
Then that means it's not classified.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is the things that, though, he stops himself from talking about.
Yeah, and it's usually he just says that he doesn't want to go into specifics on that, or...
Yeah, and if you watch the interview, it's really interesting when they bring up Roswell, because he says straight up, I'm not allowed to talk about that. Now, Roswell, ladies and gentlemen, is supposed to have been closed, dead, done, and over with.
It was a secret balloon.
Secret balloon. We've been beating this horse dead.
Right?
Like, we've been what are we in? 19 episodes total with secret balloon. Since day one, secret balloon. But this guy is told that he's not allowed to discuss Roswell.
Yeah. Completely. Well, I mean, he mentions the stuff that's public, that it came out in the news right afterwards that, we recovered a flying disc, and that they changed it the next day and said, no, it was a secret balloon.
Well, the next day it was a weather balloon.
And then it was the secret balloon.
Then it was a secret balloon.
I forget all the levels sometimes.
Yeah. Lots of
there's levels to this shit.
There's levels of fuckery among levels of fuckery.
There are.
So, I mean, and here's the thing. His claims are not without precedent, right? He brings up the incident that we have discussed from 1967, the Maelstrom Air Force Base.
Yes, where it shut our shit down.
Turned our shit down. Hovered over the silo, shut down 10 of our ICBM missiles. He said, like, hey, there you go. You want an incident?
That's one of them.
There's one of them. Now, of course, he was a part of the UAP task force where he was established to investigate this phenomenon. Once dismissed as mere UFOs. You know, these occurrences now are taken seriously. As we've talked about, they're known as UAPs. Or unidentified. Well, now it's unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Yeah, but it was unidentified aerial phenomena. But now it's
anomalous.
Mahamana.
Oh my god. I hate with all the switching of the names. It's like
I know. But why would he do it, right? Like, why would he risk so much to bring this to light? He said his answer was simple. I mean, if you believe him, service. I mean, dedicated to his country. You know, he didn't want to look back at his life with regret, he said. A coulda, shoulda, woulda kind of situation. He wanted to make a difference, and he firmly believes that we are not alone in this belief, desire to serve. That's what drove him to do it.
He thinks that the governments that have these things need to open up that technology to better serve mankind.
Yeah.
Essentially what that's his moral.
Right.
That's where his moral compass is pointing.
The other thing is we're hypocrites and it's illegal. Like, you know, he's working for the government, looking for these things, and we already have them, and we're illegally holding them. You know, and apparently, according to him, that crash retrieval program continued. And while he won't reveal where the downed aircraft are stored, he does say that people are working with the technology, are not allowed to obviously speak about it. The secrecy is a part of the problem, as he goes into. Yeah. He says that there's a bunch of them, and some of them are big.
Yeah, he said like the size of a football field.
I know, I heard that too, and I was like, that sounds a lot bigger than a Lazar UFO. Because like, I mean... The Lazar UFO, I figure, is like, you know, the size of like a small plane, like a little, you know.
I was thinking like the size of a VW bug, but maybe that's too small.
Oh, that's too small. Because you've got to remember there's two layers. Because he gets in. You know, he gets in here, and then this is another area here.
Gotcha.
So it's.
No, it's substantial.
Yeah, but it's not a football field.
No, not at all.
It may be a quarter of a football field. I could see a quarter of a football field, but not a fucking football field.
Oh, that's menacing.
Yeah. And it is. I mean, and his claims are not, he's not by himself, right? Other intelligence officials, both active and retired, have independently provided similar information corroborating his claims. You know, there's all kinds of stuff, but what it got really crazy is his revelations also hint at a covert competition.
Yeah.
A Cold War of sorts.
Yeah.
But not between...
To figure out the alien technology to use for your own army to destroy the other people.
Well, not even that, but he also said that there might have been one between us and the aliens.
Yes. That, it was at 1963?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not between nations, treaty. Between the... Yeah. He reported to Congress that the existence of a decades-long, publicly unknown Cold War for recovered and exploited physical material. This was a competition of near-peer adversaries over the years to identify these crash landings and retrieve the material for, reverse engineering to get more defense technology, things like that. But fucking crazy.
Insane, because this is taking it to a whole other level. I mean, we had Bob Lazar and his Forbidden Dome, and and a couple of his, and. Well, we all know about Bob.
Bob Lazar.
Okay.
Bob's story has more holes than fucking Swiss cheese.
Yes, we all know about Bob.
But this guy has no holes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet that anyone has come out with.
The one thing that I am curious about is there is a report that months prior he did go and report some of this to Corbell and Knapp and George Knapp.
Okay.
And I guess tonight, when this releases, their podcast also releases the same time, Weaponized, which is pretty good. I mean, it's really good. I mean, let's be realistic about it. But apparently, they're also doing an episode on this same thing.
Okay.
But I guess they're going to get into it more. And I don't know. I'm 50-50 on Corbell. He always hypes up shit that's like not that great.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're going to learn the truth. And then the truth is going to be nothing, whatever.
No. And it's like,
I don't know.
This is the most news that has come out on this thing in a while.
Since 2017.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Since this big of a dump has come out. But it's like, it's still not definitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we get a little more and a little more, but we never get the smoking gun.
You're right. And so, he wants that to come out, and he wants that. And so people always say like, okay, but where's the photos? Well, those are classified, and it'd be against the law. He's not breaking the law. He's doing this the right way. Mm-hmm. And so he is not able to bring out, the things. And he had self-admitted he has never seen a UFO in person. He did fucking say though that we got bodies.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was talking about crashes that there'd be dead pilots. He called them pilots.
Pilots. Yeah. Yep. He said we got bodies, and quite a few. Like, and where are they? Like, where are we storing them?
Did they recover a live one?
I don't know. There's lots. I mean, there's depending on what story you believe, right?
Exactly. There's so many stories out there. And there's just
look at last week. Look at Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, they had live ones. Mm-hmm. They had live ones. Fucking little weird ones with red eyes, brown ones, red eyes.
Crazy.
Yeah, guy died over them, but but who fucking know? I mean, we always look at these stories, right? And we always look at like how many different people look at it, and how many different people like touch it that aren't related to and in how good is the credibility of the people and all the other people and everything. Holy shit. I mean,
yeah,
does it get better?
They talked about like his personal accomplishments, but it's like, does he have a family? I mean, right. I don't want to, know his private life, but it's like, is he just like a regular dude?
Yeah.
And,
well, he sells real estate.
Okay.
Someone actually tried to say that his claims are bullshit because he sells real estate. It's like, why? He's retired. Like, he left. What is he going to do? You're not a millionaire leaving the military.
No.
You know what I mean? And like, I'm sure there are colonels out there and shit that are doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
So, you know what I mean? But
he also talks about like if they're friendly or not, and he says maybe not so much. He alluded that some people might have died. Like, and by died I mean not like accidental, like in Brazil. I'm talking murdered. And then we struck a deal with them. Like, this is some shit like that fucking Giorgio Sucros would be fucking talking about on Ancient Aliens. You know what I mean? This is some fucking Dr. Stephen Greer shit. This is fucking Batty McBatterson. It's insane. It's fucking insane.
This is not some shit I would expect.
To try and comprehend something like this. Because, okay, let's say it's real.
Yeah.
And we don't, and that's also something he did not specify. He's like, these could be from another planet. These could be beings from another dimension. He didn't say, oh, these are aliens.
Yeah.
So I mean, he didn't specify, but there's beings in these crafts, and they reveal themselves to us. Whatever. It's like, how's the human race gonna react to something like that?
Yeah.
Look we barely didn't murder each other during COVID.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he dropped a lot of bombshell too. It wasn't even just like, he didn't even just drop the like, oh, by the way, they're real. Like he dropped the 1971 USSR agreement that says that we'll notify each other of the occurrence of an identified phenomena in outer space.
Yeah. So that you don't think it's us.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean? Like of creating a risk of radiation danger. Yeah, okay.
No, it's crazy.
Or how about the fact that he fucking dropped that, oh, and by the way, the church knows about this shit too.
Yeah. Mussolini.
Yeah.
Getting some alien tech. And then we went and took it with the Pope's help.
Yeah. Well, I know. It's like, wait.
That's a crazy this is like, sequel to National Treasure.
This is like, yeah. And then like dropping like fucking, as far as anybody can really tell, the first OG is Roswell in 1947, but he's dropping 1933. 1933. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? 1930. Would we even comprehend what that is then?
No.
But we still got it, and apparently it's amazing.
I guess. I don't know. It's hard to.
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now that when that
wrap your head around all this,
like those like crazy, like when what is those like the stealth fighter when that shit like fucking
finally started coming out.
When that came out, like there's no way that like out of nowhere, like we went from fucking Wright brothers to that in like how what was it, like 20 years?
Yeah.
Not even something like that. What the fuck? Like what? You telling? Oh, come on, get me the fuck out of here.
It's crazy to think about.
But yeah, apparently the church knows all about it. That was like, he was just like, oh,
which adds so much implications upon that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huge implications that the church is in on there being otherworldly beings.
That makes sense though, right? Because if that was a thing and the church knew about it, they're running disinformation campaigns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they probably were in on it with the govs. Well, and then if you think back about it, Lou Elizondo, remember when he quit ATIP, because he's still a player in this, right?
Good old Lou.
Good old Lou. He quit, and he said that he could not get shit ran up the chain that he found disturbing because he would get blocked by people with religious agendas. And they felt that it was like a demonic thing. Yeah. And so he would block it. And that's literally why he quit. So he could go hang out with Tom DeLonge.
That's crazy.
And then he quit Tom DeLonge because he realized, wait, I want to bring awareness to the government and UFO. Why am I hanging out with fucking Tom DeLonge? To the stars. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God. But no, it's just, I hope more comes out about it because, like I said, there's still so much we don't know. It's just we keep getting these little sniffs.
Yeah,
it's like, where's the pie?
Here's what I thought was really interesting. Right, so he came out, he said this, but he made a good point. Right, is we have a division of the Department of Defense that's designed to look into this shit. Arrow. And
they're being, the information is being withheld from them, he says.
Yeah, because so they have I looked at this up. So they have what's called level or something 10. What do you say? It was class 10, something like that. I think it's class 10 clearance.
Okay.
Right, level 10 clearance.
Level 10.
Level 10 or something 10. I forgot what it's fucking called. Something 10. And basically, you get that like on the defense line and things like that. That's for like, defense. Now, this guy has class 50, which is intelligence level class. So this is why he could go anywhere he wanted. And this is why you have Kirkpatrick in Arrow, the guy who runs Arrow, Dr. Kirkpatrick, saying, we've never seen anything. Arrow has never seen anything.
Because they're not getting that information.
Because they can't get to it. Because they can't get to it. So he's not lying. He's telling you truthful. He's like, we've never seen anything that makes us think that this shit's real.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got this guy who was like, dude, I could walk into, I could use the presidential, probably not the presidential bathroom, but you know what I mean? Definitely Chuck Grassley's.
Yeah.
You know, and he but you know what I mean? And so I don't know. You had that interview that he did on News Nation, which whatever. I'm like, what the fuck is News Nation?
Yeah, I don't know what News Nation. I was gonna look into if they were.
Turns out it's a Nexstar company. So Nexstar Broadcasting,
okay,
who owns a bunch of TV stations, decided to start their own little news network.
Okay,
and that's what it is. And so it's on like different Nexstar, products, offerings, and streaming services.
Interesting.
You know, they're going to look pretty good, I think, though, when this is shit, because they're going to be the only one
that took it serious. Yeah.
They are taking it serious.
Yeah.
But the other thing is they vetted him big time.
Yeah.
And then even before that, there was the article in the debrief from the people who wrote the Black Money 2017 article, which you go back and listen to that episode. You can take that for what it's fucking worth. But they vetted him too. You know what I mean? Like they went through proper channels and vetted him. And then the Australian guy, I'm sure himself did some fucking background and vetting himself, you know. Well, he was introduced through people that he trusted. So this dude has been vetted 3 different ways, not to mention all the people that he works with that also came forward and were like, listen, I don't know if we have this, but if he's saying we do, I believe it. I don't know.
The whole time I was watching that interview, he sounds like Bill Paxton playing a character.
I don't know if I could.
He's so Bill Paxton.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yes. Damn it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He's Bill Paxton.
He's almost Bill Paxton as Chet from fucking.
Just like take away the asshole vibes.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's yeah. But like the same mannerisms and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. We're talking about things that aren't here anymore. All right? They crashed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds exactly like Bill Paxton.
I don't know. I mean, do I believe him? I kind of do. Just
right now, I believe him more than some of this other stuff.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's hard, right? Because his claims are fucking crazy. Insane. But everything checks out that if there was a person in a position to know that this shit was real, it's this guy.
I know. It's just.
And then everybody.
I said I want the smoking gun. Oh. I need something tangible.
And people are like.
And that could be something really awful.
People are coming forward, though. It's funny, and like trying to discredit him for dumb reasons, right? Like what? He sells real estate.
A lot of people sell real estate. They're not
that's
all crazy.
That's one. God, what else? What else did someone say? That now like some of these dickhead skeptics on Twitter, right? UFO Twitter, such a cesspool. Like that fucking Mick West. He's saying that like, listen, like how many plane crashes do we have? Like hardly any. How many UFO crashes are they having? Apparently a lot. How are they crashing so much when they're so superior? That's his whole argument, that it's bullshit because UFOs wouldn't crash because they're so superior. Because he's a fucking UFO engineer and he knows how the shit works, apparently. Who's to say that the shit doesn't get fucked up because of some reason of, you know, who knows?
Who knows?
Have you ever fucking gotten one? No. Shut your fucking mouth. Stupid dickhead asshole. Stupid fuck. Anyways, so that's the latest. A fucking high-ranking, former intelligent officer who has been vetted time again, highly commended, highly fucking awarded, came forward through proper channels, signed legal documents saying that he promises he's not lying, and if he does, he'll go to fucking prison happily. And
he doesn't strike me as a liar. No. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It really
people
is
were saying that
difficult.
he's like too like kind of just relaxed about it.
But
that kind of makes me feel like fuck. Maybe he's telling the truth. You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's it. He's coming forward and he's saying, guess what, guys? The government does have UFOs. We've had them for a long fucking time.
They're here.
They're here, and they're hiding it from you and us and everybody. And we might even have a treaty with them.
And they might not be nice.
And they might not be nice. And the only reason they haven't killed us yet is because we struck a deal, and the church knows about it. and it all started not in 1947 like we thought. It started
in 1933.
Started in 1933
with Mussolini.
With Mussolini, they were going to get some olive oil and a nice fettuccine, and he was trying to bring the kid back to the 80s so he could be with his family.
Yep,
Pee
and he
Herman,
crashed.
And he crashed, and then here we are.
And then Jessica Parker's hair.
Jessica Parker's hair, and for some reason Twisted Sister is talked about.
Yeah.
And then and so that's the latest. Mm-hmm. That's what's going on. Most of that story is true, guys. The other part of it is the classic Disney movie
Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, the most realistic movie ever made. Mm-hmm. But that's it. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. If you don't believe me, just literally go fucking open any news thing. It's one of the top stories right now. It's kind of crazy. It's trending on Twitter. Like, just fucking go YouTube it. Just type in UFO whistleblower, and you will see it all. But anyways, for this week, I'm Jake.
And I'm Lindsay.
Take care.